Hey everyone, we're here on Cyrene, and I thought we would do these hazard mechs again, specifically these level 15 ones, because they can drop that adjusted renegade component, so we can upgrade those armor plates that I like so much. But because people have asked, here's the setup we're going to be using today. The LR35, long reach 4 for our scope. I put an extender on this just because the extender costs less than the rifles we're using, and so just try to combat the high markup on the armor tracks, basically. And then I have two of these laser sights, one on the scope, one on the gun. And so let's get to the killing part. And so as I recall, the Codex goes a little slow on these guys at this point. We're starting to get up there about halfway through the Codex ranks. Yeah, less than 0.5% a kill, so it'll take us a fair amount of kills in order, a few hundred, in order to get through this Codex rank. Which won't be too big of a problem since we're going to have to kill a ton of these in order to get the amount of components we're going to want. Since our only other option is to hit up the Skrill, and we're really not on the right level, DPS wise or armor wise, to be able to kind of handle that type of mob. Basically, we need, I think, a significantly bigger weapon in order to be able to really have a chance of grinding through those, which will be cool. Once we get there, we can kind of upgrade our little Healy tool. I think we've done everything but the 3,000 water mobs. I think it was Skrill, Wiles, or I think there was a third option, but a bunch of high hit point mobs basically. And so we put that off until we can kind of do the Skrill. Since I doubt we'll actually get 7 components of these hazard mechs. We have been lucky and we did get one though. And so we know they drop them. And as soon as we find the little collectible, I think we'll try to upgrade our first plate. Since we have enough badges now, we have the rare component. We'll just have to look up what we actually need material wise. They're not looting horrible today though. Although most of what we're going to get out here is shrapnel. And I don't know if that's just because of their level compared to our skill, or if they just, as a mob, tend to drop a lot more shrapnel than other items. And I don't think we've globaled on these guys outside of the one time when we got that component. Since that's a rare find, it's always a global. I'm assuming, like most of the other mobs, it's a 50 ped global threshold, so it's quite the multiplier for us to be able to hit it. And we got our first component pretty quickly. I think it was on our like first or second little hour hunt. And so I don't know how many we're realistically going to have to kill in order to get the next drop, since it is such a rare component. I know one of the people I know in the game hit 3,000 Skrill in a row for that FAP quest and didn't get a single component to drop. And so again, I'm not sure how many you have to kill realistically to get the rare drop that is the component. The component itself, I think, is only valued at like 1 ped, and so you're getting plenty of hits that are over 1 ped that could potentially have that. But it's nice that there's codex that you can kind of grind out at the same time. while doing a little bit of item chasing. Especially since the component last I saw was like 500 ped if you wanted to buy it. And that's really expensive. And since we needed to work our skills up anyway, I thought we would just see if we can get lucky and get it to drop for us. Although I've also heard people say that if since it's so rare that if you're gonna get it, you'll get it in the first 10 kills, and if not, you weren't gonna get it that day. And I don't have any evidence to where I can say that that viewpoint is necessarily wrong, but I just think it's super rare, and so the odds you get it are super low. And we still have a level or two to go before we're on to the next rifle, which I think the 40 or 45 we conceivably might be able to handle a 1200 hit point mob. But I don't know, the scroll hits pretty hard and it's mostly electric damage is my understanding. And when I asked around about it, they kind of indicated it was just a, hey, you're just going to want to swim backwards and not get hit and hope it doesn't go unreachable. And so you need to bring some damage to the table, was pretty much the consensus across the board. And so a few upgrades on a rifle and a reasonable amp, and then maybe we're there. Ooh, nice skill boost. Let's see what we got. Oh, 38% is pretty nice. Oh, that was a nice one. Almost 25 ped. And our skills are just churning in. That's kind of exciting too. Oh, and this little mission you pick up at the teleporter down here at Carnaps Landing. That's just like a free 1 ped when you do this hunt. I think it's every 3 days on that mission, but I'm not 100% on that. Trying to make the most out of this skill boost we got. Because we still have a pretty long way to go on before we fully qualified on the 40, which is the next rifle up for us. I think we have to be 45 damage to get the maximum amount out of that rifle. And the cool thing about that collecting data mission over here is when we finish it, they'll just materialize the reward in our inventory. We don't have to go track the quest giver down again. And we're getting some reasonable loot events here, 4 ped, all the way up to that 25 or whatever it was. And so these guys aren't looting too horribly today, honestly. I mean, obviously we're not getting the rare drop we're after, but it's nice to get a bunch of that shrapnel that you can just keep cycling. Or I guess you could sell it if you ended up with too big of an excess, but so far that hasn't been a problem. And that's what I was talking about right there. They just dropped it off in our backpack, so to speak. Yeah, these guys are definitely a little bit of a grind in order to get the components. Again, I don't think we'll get too many off the Skrill when we do that run either. So we're kind of going to be stuck grinding one or the other, or potentially both, maybe. I guess if we finish the Codex and we don't want to necessarily jump on the repeatable right away, we can try to make a run on the other monster that drops it. That'll be an option for us. Kind of cross that bridge when we get there. These guys are so much easier to kill that we'll likely only hit those Skrill just to finish up that first aid. What is it, the heart? It's like a chain quest for a first aid pack that was on Cyrene. I think that was like collect some bones in the beginning, and then after that it was kill this, like X mob, Y mob, Z mob, like six ranks of just killing a different type of mob. Then they added this last rank, and instead of it being a low amount of mobs like it had been for the other ones, it's 3,000 Skrill. So at some point we'll tackle that. I'm hoping to get a few plates upgraded before we're really jumping in through that hoop to finish up that quest. The first aid pack is pretty nice though, in all honesty. Um, Especially after the latest upgrade that I don't have done. That was a nice one there, 20 ped. Alright, I think that's going to wrap up on our hunt here today. No luck on the component, but we did get a few reasonable amount of shrapnel loots. And so we're going to count this as a little bit of a win, just like always. Progress our character in some skills, and the loot wasn't atrocious. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Stay epic.